live and on your side. This is KTBS 3 First News.
I haven't given it any thought. I've been reading about it from you people.
President Trump continues his meeting with world leaders, but the Russia investigation is waiting on him when he returns.
Plus, several people killed in a South Korea hospital fire. We'll tell you why it was so deadly. Good Friday morning, Arklatex TGIF. I'm Nate Fluharty.
And I'm Beryl Dunn. It's Friday, January 26th. And we begin with our three's top stories. A hospital fire in South Korean city of Myeryang killed at least 39 people this morning, including 3 staff members. The blaze also injured more than 70 people, 10 of which are in critical condition. The head of Myeryang Fire Department says the fire first broke out in the emergency room on the first floor of Sejong Hospital.
That fire was extinguished around 10:30 local time, but the head of the hospital said in a press conference there were no sprinklers installed because it was not legally required. Myeryang, about 270 kilometers southeast of Seoul. Footage captured here by CNN affiliate YTN showed firefighters battling this blaze and doing everything they can to get the flames under control. Today, President Trump will make a major speech at the World Economic Forum in Switzerland. But back home, there's a new report the president tried to fire the special counsel investigating Russia's election meddling.
Sources tell the New York Times Trump ordered his White House counsel to get rid of Robert Mueller last summer. ABC's Kenneth Mutton has the details from Washington.
This morning, President Trump on the world stage at the Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
Fake news, folks. Fake news.
But responding to a new report that he tried to get rid of the special counsel in the Russia.
Kids at Donnie Bickham Middle School doing something we on the morning show don't get to do quite often, sleeping in. They're getting a 3-day weekend. The school will be closed for sanitizing and cleaning following a flu outbreak. Classes are expected to resume on Monday. And remember, if your child has the flu or symptoms of the flu, to keep them at home. And it's been a long road for the Caddo Parish Animal Shelter. Now the Commission is considering a drastic change. They're asking themselves if handing over operations of the shelter to a private nonprofit group could lead to better outcomes for the dogs at the shelters.
Now, the success of a nonprofit's takeover of the shelter would depend on its ability to develop reliable ways to raise money. Some feel it's irrelevant unless working conditions are improved at the shelter. Some say it won't matter who's running it.
The employees at the shelter, they say, are a lot of the problem, but the resources of the employees are more of a problem. The bowls are filthy. They don't have a dishwasher. They wash all of those for all of the animals by hand.
Yesterday was only a hearing to better understand if the transition makes financial sense for the parish. No further action has been taken just yet. A major indictment out of federal court in Shreveport as a local businessman is accused of defrauding investors out of nearly $100 million. The grand jury now charging 56-year-old David DeBerardi with defrauding investors and banks out of $96 million in what amounts to a Ponzi scheme.
Civil suits filed earlier today say investors were promised double-digit returns for buying into energy trades, but the grand jury says nothing got traded. It was a con that went on for 8 years. The 5-count indictment against DeBerardi alleges fake documents were created showing trades were being made. DeBerardi has not been arrested. He'll go before a federal magistrate in a few days to discuss bond. Now, federal authorities have seized his assets, including a sailboat, jet plane, and life insurance policy. Federal prosecutors say they'll return any seized assets to investors. The rest of the money has not yet been found. And on to Baton Rouge now, and sad situation twice over, a shootout at a funeral. That's right. Police say people were gathered at a funeral yesterday when 2 individuals began shooting at one another. One person was hit and police say the gunman got away. There's no word this morning on a motive. And an East Texas man now charged with capital murder in the death of a toddler. 26-year-old Mark Anthony Carson was arrested and charged on Thursday in the death of 11-month-old Caden Brockett. Authorities say the child was found unresponsive last October in Carson's home and the death ruled a homicide. Carson is now waiting to be arraigned in the Henderson County Jail.
Time right now is 10:46. Coming up next, your Tech Bites.
We are talking about books. Walmart is taking on ebooks and going head-to-head with Amazon. We'll see when that's coming after the break.
Plus, a mother in California went through a nightmare after her daughter had a strange reaction to her flu medicine. What parents need to know when we come back in 2 minutes.